Carrie Shepperson from Southern Songbird Farm, and today we are going to fry some chicken livers. They are one of our very favorite things, and it is probably 90 degrees with 80% humidity outside, but sometimes you just got to make the kitchen hot and have some good fried chicken. So today I thought we would do chicken livers because we love them in my family. I know some people are a little squeamish about them, so let's just do some so you don't have to be afraid. So Doug, if you want to show, right here we have, this is a 1 pound package of ours, or it's a little bit over 1 pound maybe. And there's about a dozen livers in here. So what I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna take, a lot of the livers have these two separate halves or lobes, and I'm just gonna cut those in half. If I see any like little connective tissue or anything like that in there, I'll get rid of it as well. Every once in a while you'll see like a little blood clot or something, and you can get those out too. And these are way too delicious to catfish with, so you're gonna wanna eat these. I mean, if you wanna buy our livers for catfish, and you can, but this is a much better use of them. Okay, so we've got all those little guys cut up, and now they're gonna go in their bath. So I usually do this a little bit differently than I do my fried chicken. For my fried chicken, I do buttermilk, pickle juice, a few dashes of hot sauce, soak the chicken in there for at least an hour. Sometimes I'll even do it overnight. With these livers, I like it to make a little bit more of a crust. So I do a little bit of milk. A lot of times I'll use goat milk because that's what we've got. You can use 2%, whatever. I feel like I'm in a garden right now. Whatever you have at home will be fine. So use whatever you want. There's a couple of eggs in there and a couple of dashes of hot sauce for some flavor. So all my little pretties are gonna go into their bath. I'm gonna leave them in here for about an hour, and then I'll show you the next step. So the next thing I'm gonna do with them is, once they've had their bath and brined a little bit, if you wanna call it that, marinated, then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna give them a good shake in our seasoning. So another big tip is, if you're gonna fry chicken or fried chicken livers, I like to use a half and half mixture of cornstarch and all-purpose flour because it makes it a little bit crispier. So in my bag over here, in my Ziploc, I have got about half a cup of cornstarch and half a cup of all-purpose flour. And then I like a lot of seasoning. So I've got some salt and pepper, and I'll put like some rough measurements down in the description. Basically, just listen to your heart. It'll tell you when to quit. One thing I will say is, I do have salt and pepper, paprika. Go easy on your paprika because it does sometimes make your crust look like it's burned. It's not, it just turns a dark color in your oil. I've got onion powder, garlic powder. I like a little pinch of dry mustard in there, makes it really good, and a little bit of oregano. So Doug, we will be right back. We're gonna put these in the fridge, and we'll see you back in a few minutes, and we'll fry these big boys up. Okay, so we are ready to fry these bad boys up. I have busted out Old Trusty. This was my grandmother's electric skillet. I highly recommend, if you like fried chicken or fried chicken livers, get you an electric skillet. The reason being is there's a little thermostat back here, and it will keep it at your temperature no matter what. But it's not a big deal. If you don't have an electric skillet, you can still make some bomb diggity fried chicken. What you want to do is get you a nice heavy pot. You could use like a Dutch oven, cast iron skillet would be perfect. But make sure you check your temperature of your oil. So it's kind of funny. Doug, please don't look at it because it is like soldered with junk back here. But my grandmother's dial, she never moved it. So it's literally stuck in place at the temperature she last used it. So it's about 360, 365, and I wouldn't go over 375 for your chicken. So somewhere between 350 and 375 is great. If you're on a stovetop, I would start with medium, and then you can always give it a little more juice. Once you put your chicken in the pan, it's gonna cool your oil down, so you may have to touch your heat up a little bit, which is why I like the electric skillet, because it compensates for that itself. So let's get these guys into the bath. So again, we've got a mixture of cornstarch, flour, onion and garlic powder, paprika, a little bit of dry mustard, some oregano, salt and pepper. So all I'm gonna do is take my little livers, kind of get off the excess milk and egg. And then I don't really like to overload this bag because I feel like it don't get coated very well. So I'm only going to put about, I don't know, these are little, so maybe 5 or 6 at a time in here. I've already had my oil preheating. I'm using canola oil today, but I've also used sunflower oil, whatever oil you're used to frying in for health or for your allergies or whatever is totally fine. But I'm using canola today because that's what I've got on hand. I'm gonna give them a good shake in the bag. And we are ready to put these puppies in the skillet. So off comes my lid. The other thing I'm gonna say too is if you're doing this in a skillet, I would make sure you had a splatter guard on it or maybe a clear lid you could see through because these bad boys will pop you with oil. So I have maybe a 1/4 inch of oil in the bottom of this pan. And I want them, I'm just gonna lay them in there. I like it ideally if I'm frying chicken, big chicken pieces, I like them to come about halfway up the piece of chicken, the oil. And I don't want it to totally cover it. So I'm just gonna lay those in there, tuck them in. There we go. And I think that's my last guy from this batch. All right, so on goes the lid so I don't get splashed and they're gonna cook a little better. And I'm gonna do these about 3 or 4 minutes aside. So in just a second, we'll be ready to turn these and I'll show you what they look like. Okay, we're ready to turn these bad boys. And as you can see, I have put on my grandmother's apron because they are popping like crazy in here. So the other thing I will say is that once you've picked up a few of these livers, these tongs get a little janky. So I have got some fresh tongs that I like to turn and retrieve the chicken with. So over goes our lid. Now, my grandmother would turn over in her grave if you all turn your chicken more than one time, okay? You get one turn. That's the rule. One turn of the chicken. Woo, yeah. It's popping. Turn that chicken one time. Got a nice little crust going there. And then I put these back under probably for about 2 more minutes because they're getting done pretty quickly throughout. And I'll show you, meet you back here in just a minute and we'll see them all laid out and ready to go. Okay, these are done. I'm gonna pull them out. I like to put them on a little cookie sheet with some paper towel under them on a draining rack because then they don't just sit in their oil and get all soggy. So that's what I like to do that for. So if they pop me, I might scream a little bit on camera. That's okay. Just gonna take these out. Now, this is where it's always good if you want to give it just a little bit of a taste. Make sure that you got enough salt or pepper or seasoning or whatever you want. These little guys, while they're still hot, I'm going to give them just another little bit of a sprinkle of salt. I always go easy on the salt at first and then add a little more if I need to. So I'm going to give them just a little sprinkle while they're still warm. So I'm going to put these over here. Take them right over here. Got a little kosher salt. Just give them a little sprinkle while they're hot. And you have got the best chicken livers you'll ever put in your mouth. If you are fancy, you can serve them with some white gravy. We are going to eat them just as straight up as is. I'm going to put a little summer salad on the side from my friends at the farmer's market to Later Acres. And if you would like to have your own chicken livers and you are local to the Winchester, Kentucky area, Winchester, Lexington, Richmond, Kentucky area, give us a holler. We would love to have you come pick some up at the farm. We can deliver on certain days. And we are also recently just became part of the Market Wagon. So I'll put all those links in the notes. And we hope that you've enjoyed the video. Let us know if there's anything else that you'd like to see. Thanks so much.